Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. When Stephen Shorty Malcolm walked off the field at the National Stadium in Kingston on the evening of January 28, 2001, no one could have envisaged that it was the last time that the diminutive defender would be graced in the office where he had played a pivotal role in Jamaica's qualification for the 1998 FIFA World Cup in France. Just over 3 hours after leaving the stadium, the combative Malcolm, who came to prominence as a no-nonsense defender representing the 1986 Rossi's Da Costa Cup team, which won the coveted Da Costa Cup and 2 other titles that year, was dead, killed in a motor vehicle accident along the Duncan to Falmouth main road in Trelawney. I was a part of the Gleaner team that rushed from Montego Bay to the accident scene, where the Toyota Mark II, in which Malcolm, his Reggae boy teammate Theodore Tapper Whitmore, and their friend Charles Ewing had crashed on an embankment, crushing the skull of the football star. The accident, which threw the entire nation into mourning, was taken particularly hard in Montego Bay, where the 30-year-old Malcolm enjoyed hero status on account of his very high profile, having had the distinction of playing in the 1998 World Cup in France, where Jamaica won 1 game and lost 2. In this edition of Lest You Forget, we will be looking back at the life and time of Shorty Malcolm, with primary focus on the mourning that followed his death and the Shorty mania that took over Montego Bay in the lead up to his state funeral at Gerard Park, which was one of the biggest funerals ever seen anywhere in Jamaica. According to the Gleaner's story, published on January 29, 2001, under the headline, Reggae Boy Killed in Crash, we gave the police's version of the ill-fated accident and the reaction of friends and family to the tragic news. The story as carried in the Gleaner on the 29th of January 2001 under the headline Reggae Boy Killed in Crash read as follows. Popular footballer and member of the Reggae Boys team, Stephen Shorty Malcolm, is dead. Malcolm, who would have celebrated his 31st birthday next Monday, was killed in a car crash along the Spring Hill Main Road in Trelawney last night. Another Reggae boy, Theodore Whitmore, of English Division 3 team Hull City, and a friend of the 2 players, Charles Ewing, were hospitalized. The Duncans police confirmed that Malcolm, Whitmore and the 3rd person were returning from a friendly international football match between Jamaica and Bulgaria at the National Stadium in Kingston when the accident happened. In recounting the moments leading to the crash, Theodore Whitmore revealed the following. When me hear the tape blow out, me hear Shorty cuss a bad word and then everything start to happen. After the crash, me say, Short man, you alright? You alright? But I never get any response from him. Malcolm's close friend and Seba teammate, Capel Natty Lawrence, who we had a conversation with about 45 minutes before the crash, recalled the following. Him called me on my cellular about 9:15 and him say him there Braco. The last thing him said to me on the phone was that I shouldn't leave me house because him soon come, said Lawrence as he stood outside the Marriott Funeral Home in Falmouth, where Malcolm's body was taken after he was pronounced dead at the Falmouth Hospital. Malcolm's mother, Veronica Malcolm, was devastated by his death, and she recalled the last time she had a conversation with him. How you call me for now? Because you have your new phone now? Asked Miss Veronica Malcolm when her favourite son, Reggae boy Stephen Shorty Malcolm, called her last Saturday from the national team training camp in Kingston. No mama man, me just long to hear your voice, said the diminutive defender who had just returned home from Miami, where the Reggae boys had engaged Bolivia in a practice game the previous night. In the days leading up to his funeral, Shorty Malcolm was easily the biggest newsmaker in Jamaica. Almost on a daily basis, the Gleaner carried stories about him. Some of the headlines were as follows. Malcolm's last chat with mom. Gerard Park's service for Shorty. All said for Shorty. A lion-hearted warrior. The Malcolms lament Shorty's loss. Shorty Fest was a fabulous affair. Farewell. Shorty Mania. Royal farewell for Shorty. And Tapper wept. The funeral service at Gerard Park was a momentous affair attracting well-wishers and celebrities from all over the island. Among the mourners were Sports Minister Portia Simpson Miller and Opposition Leader Edward Seaga. After the funeral service, which was conducted by Reverend Al Miller, the procession to the Pie River Cemetery was like a big reggae boys game, as mourners, clad in the national colours, walked behind the pallbearers all the way down to the cemetery where Malcolm was laid to rest. In looking back at this profound period of Shorty mania which swept Western Jamaica, it was definitely one of those unforgettable stories. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter.